All right, y'all, it's day 4 of our coach sneak peek, and Courtney is here. So, Court, you want to tell a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, how we connected?
Yeah. So, hi guys. My name is Courtney Gershel. So, I live in Smyrna, Georgia, which is like 15-20 minutes outside of Atlanta. Danielle and I met on Instagram. We connected back at the end of 2019. I want to say first was around November, and then I really started taking the dive and became a challenger in January. So we connected over our passion and love for Atlanta, and the restaurant scene down here is pretty awesome. So I started in in January, and started as a challenger. And I am currently a health promotion consultant with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I lead different wellness, I guess, events and organizations for a client that we have. So wellness is a big part of my life. And when I came on and connected with Danielle, it was kind of perfect timing because I was not being as consistent as possible. And it felt right. So I've been here ever since.
Yeah, and she went all in. Like, she picked a program, she got the supplements, she was committed to her journey first and foremost. So what kind of made you want to make that shift from challenger to coach pretty quickly? Because I think sometimes people think they have to be like at their goal weight or like more experience with all the programs to start coaching.
Yeah. So, I mean, the true and honest opinion was I originally started for the discount. But then, after seeing some of Danielle's posts and the other girls' posts, I was like, I can do this. And I really just enjoy helping people and enjoy telling my story, enjoy educating on the importance of wellness. I mean, it's what I do every day. So I figured, why not give it a try and see how it goes. So yeah, it's kind of how I got started with it.
So talk about some of the things. So we're going to talk about community today and some of the tools that our coaches have access to as they start learning and growing. Like, how do I post or what do I share? Maybe speak a little bit about that, Court, of what your experience has been and how that's gone for you.
Yeah, so the community aspect of everything was a huge part for me, and something that I definitely expressed in the beginning, just because, we all have our friends outside of all of this, but I really, really wanted people that would hold me accountable, and that's kind of how I took the deep dive into all of this. But when it came to posting and sharing, Danielle kind of pushed me and provided some different tips. The first ones were specifically just about sharing my story and sharing the community, showing what the community has done for me in my journey alone, but then also just a little bit more about my life. So I picked my top 5 things that I enjoy in life that I, really like to focus on. And I kind of just focused on sharing more about me as I started, in looking at coaching.
So what are some of the things that we do on a regular basis to connect as a team to learn and grow? What are some of those tools that everybody will get access to?
Yeah, so the first one is Transformation Nation. So a lot of the different coaches are on there and they post different tips. They post their trackers to show kind of what they're doing to hold you a little bit more accountable. And then we also have team calls. So we have weekly calls, which they're great. They depend and they change on different topics. Some are very business oriented. Some are more personal development oriented. Some are other coaches that aren't necessarily a part of your team that come on and share their personal experiences and how they got started. And then the other one is called The Hub, and it's our Facebook group that we communicate in and then provide different challenges as well. So there's posts going up on there daily, and that alone, I think, is also a key tool. Those different posts can kind of provide ideas for coaches to think about when they are exploring the idea of coaching and to gain more ideas for what they're going to post and how they're going to share it.
Yeah, so it really marriage of your fitness and wellness routine with the business, they very directly correlate. And I think Courtney's proof I know she's proof that when you lead with that passion, even before you might be ready per se, it's going to help you even more on your wellness journey, stay accountable. I mean, she gets up, we have our Zoom workout link every single morning. She's up doing a morning routine, which I don't know if you were doing that much before.
Yeah, I was.
So she's really become a consistent morning person, and sharing those aspects have allowed her to kind of open up more and share more what she's also doing in her profession. So if you were to say to someone considering coaching, what has been something that you've really enjoyed and that why they should say yes? And then what is something that you're still working on and is, as you're going, you're still seeing success, but it's something you're working on?
Something that I really have enjoyed is as I've been reaching out and as I've been exploring the posts, I've also been learning a lot about myself even more. So I see it as like a personal journey too, what I enjoy about sharing, my life. And then I feel like with sharing my story and reaching out to people, I'm also getting to know very similar and like-minded people, which is a big part of why I started with the accountability group. I just wanted to connect with more people that had the same passion and interests that I did. And then it's also, positively impacted my own personal well-being. One thing that's been a little bit difficult is coming up with, ideas to post, but I will say that we have a group specifically of girls that are new coaches, having them alongside you throughout the journey and, getting feedback from them, getting ideas from them, talking consistently with your upline or your coach definitely helps. And they will hold you accountable. They will push you, but it really is a true journey of growth. And so I think that, it's definitely worth it.
What is one thing that surprised you with coaching so far?
Oh, that's a hard question.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
That surprised me. I honestly think I was a little skeptical about it all at first, but I've seen more love and appreciation come through on my social media than I thought I would. I sometimes get in my head about it all, but I think it does surprise me that the interactions and the engagement of people that I normally wouldn't have talked to, engaging with my posts or, more liking or commenting on my posts. So I definitely would say the outreach part of it and the reactions and the feedback that I've gotten have been one thing that surprised me about coaching.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, when you open up and share, it's nerve-wracking at first, but what we don't realize is, especially right now in this time of quarantine, so much of what we see on social media is so negative. And so taking that personal growth journey with yourself and choosing to be the light, it's such a breath of fresh air for people, and they want to be surrounded by that. So, I mean, even this last week, I texted Courtney because one of our other coaches just moved down the street from her. So now they're going to connect. So it's this web of community and family that truly cares about you, that, like she said, yeah, we're going to call you out and hold you accountable, but it's because we want to help you see success, and we want to mentor you through the things we as women all think and doubt ourselves on. Any other things you wanted to touch on and share?
I would say the biggest learning experience for me, and one thing, I guess, a piece of advice would be to really dive in and look at the resources that are available. Read the FAQs if you have questions, because, at first I would just kind of text Danielle or ask the girls. But once I was able to to learn to take the initiative on my own, like I would in my normal everyday job, try to figure it out myself first, see what I can find, and then sharing what question I initially had with the other girls that are coaching, because a lot of the times they have the same questions as you. I would just say use your resources, and then also if you are working with other coaches, share those questions and that feedback and different ideas that you have with them, because they are all really there to support you. And the resources alone, you know, kind of provide it all. You just put your own spin on it. So
she hit the nail on the head with that one, because I think people look at coaches that have big teams and think, how do they do it? And the reality is, I'm not here to be your babysitter or your boss, that we're a team together and we are working together for common goals. So really having that independent mindset, but also connectivity to the community is so important as y'all build your own teams, because when you have 100 coaches, you can't answer their individual questions. So we've really created systems within our team to have message pods or have team pages where, like Courtney said, you can go and find the information and then come and teach it. Because when you can teach it, you know it. So I love that tip, and I think it's super helpful. So thank you for popping on and sharing your story. I appreciate it. And hopefully soon we can actually see each other in person.
I know. One day. One day.
Well, thanks for popping on, y'all. Oh, we have to give them a challenge to get on social media. Do you want to give them something?
The challenge. Maybe start sharing, or think about their 5 things, what their 5 things would be. And throughout this weekend, make sure that each day they post something about their 5 topics.
Clarify what you mean by your 5, and maybe you can share yours real quick.
Okay, so your 5 things, the 5 things that when you think of yourself, that of your life that you enjoy the most, you have the most passion about. So my 5 things are wellness, which is very broad. So it really just depends on the topic of wellness that I talk about or I post about. The second one is home/family. So a lot of the times I will post some different home projects that we're doing, my garden, things with my husband, or, you know, my own family. My third thing is pups or dogs. So I am a crazy dog lady, and so I usually will try to post something about my dogs. And for anybody that's obsessed with their pets, that's pretty easy to do. My fourth is sports. So my love for sports, obviously it's with the quarantine, there's not much action going on, but there are ways that you can post around that. Different ideas that Danielle has provided have been helpful. And then my 5th thing is travel. So my love for travel, and anytime I'm going anywhere, I post about it. Any ideas that I have around travel, like picking out bathing suits, things along those lines. So.
Yes, girl. Love it. So we can't wait to hear your 5 things. And at first when you hear that, you're like, I don't know, I'm not that interesting. But I promise y'all are, and those things are going to help you connect to people that you want to work with. So thanks for sharing. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.